An old proverb says cowboy is a breed tougher than nails and strong as steel, and a young local cowboy is proof of just that.
Yeah, Trip Odiaga got E. coli, and now he faces potential kidney failure. Abby Davis tells us it looks like the thing Trip loves most in this whole world might be the cause of his illness.
I talked to his mom earlier today, and she told me it's been a really rough 8 days, but that she's extremely grateful for all the community support as people rally behind their family. Trip Odiaga's a rodeo star in the making.
He's a very spunky, energetic little cowboy.
A 9-year-old little cowboy currently bucking a big health scare.
It's been a legitimate nightmare.
Trip's mom, Cheyenne Wilson, said he got sick on Labor Day.
We thought maybe he was just dehydrated, so I kept him home from school, and he still wasn't feeling up to snuff, and so kept him home another day, and his symptoms just progressed.
Doctors diagnosed Trip with E. coli 2 days later.
There's a specific bacteria that is part of this virus, and it's called shikatoxin, and that's what Trip has, and it's been very harmful.
Ever since, Trip's been at St. Luke's Children's Hospital here in Boise. Wilson says experts think he got E. coli from livestock, which Trip is around often. He rides bulls and helps take care of his family's animals.
He probably came in to eat after he'd been done, working cows or doing whatever with the cattle or the steers, and ate and probably didn't wash his hands, or if he did, probably wasn't that great. And that's most likely how he contracted it. The last thing I want is him to be scared.
Andy Nutting, Southwest District Health epidemiologist, says most people recover from E. coli without medical help, but not everyone.
In general, those that are typically in the younger age category or the older age category are usually most at risk for complications.
Like Trip, who has a really serious case of E. coli. It led to another infection attacking his kidneys.
The next step would be dialysis if his kidneys stop functioning.
Wilson says doctors are monitoring Trip's platelet levels.
The hardest part is just having a doctor sit down and tell you that your 9-year-old kid isn't out of the woods yet.
Through this experience, Wilson wants to raise awareness around the dangers of E. coli and the potential of getting it through livestock.
Of course, nobody's going to be perfect, but this has really opened my eyes as to why it is so important to make sure that our kids have good hygiene when it comes to washing their hands, because this is what it could end up like.
In the meantime, Trip continues fighting.
It has been an uphill battle, and he is the toughest kid that I know.
Wilson says they don't know yet when Trip will be well enough to go back home to Middleton, but they are feeling the love. She told me they actually got moved to a bigger room because of all the balloons, flowers, and gifts sent their way. And we'll also have a link to their GoFundMe on our website, ktvb.com.
Abby, I'm curious in watching this story, how common is getting E. coli from livestock? We live in a very ag-focused place.
Yeah, so the epidemiologist I spoke with earlier says it's actually fairly common, believe it or not. So just really make sure that you're washing your hands well after handling livestock. And Wilson actually told me she's getting Trip some hand sanitizer, his own personal one that he can carry around with him at all times, just to make sure nothing like this ever happens again.
Good idea on her part, yes. All right, thank you very much, Abby.